Welcome back to another GeekaWhat video, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Cooler Master MasterKeys Pro M RGB mechanical keyboard. I openly have many quibbles with Cooler Master's MasterKeys Pro M, the white LED variant, in my review a little while back, and this RGB version in for review today certainly solves many of my complaints. This keyboard, much like the other, the white LED variant, fits into the same unique form factor I came to love, with the retention of the number pad in a more of a 10 keyless size. It does this by combining the number pad and arrow keys and by removing the central area and gaps to minimise the sacrifices made with the 10 keyless layout. It certainly takes some getting used to, and for those who love the number pad you may find it a bit cluttered in its functionality. Me personally though, I've never really used a number pad. As you can see here, this RGB version is nearly identical to the white LED version, and they even come in the same switch variant. They're an identical shape, and when the LEDs are off you can't really differentiate between the two designs. It's when you turn the LEDs on that you see the difference here. Each key supports individual backlighting with the standard 16.8 million colour options per key, and this is where the first of my complaints is solved. Software. See, with the white LED version, Cooler Master opted for a softwareless design that, whilst has its advantages, is a complete pain to work with. This keyboard instead opts for a hybrid design with that fully fledged software approach and also on keyboard functionality. And the software is pretty great at that. It's simple, easy to use and intuitive, and whilst there are more detailed software suites that come alongside other products, I can't see you being dissatisfied with this offering. Cooler Master's Portal software gives you a rundown of the connected compatible Cooler Master peripherals and allows you to download the appropriate keyboard, mouse, etc. software easily with a click of a button, which is great, and then you can easily open that software from there as well. It's a nice centralized way of looking at things. Once in the software, you'll see a plethora of LED modes. You can either have no LEDs lit, all LEDs lit a solid colour, all LEDs breathing a solid colour, a colour wave, which is surprisingly therapeutic, and a cross mode where you hit a key and the four keys surrounding it start colour trails, once again in the colour of your choice. There's also a raindrop mode, where you choose a sky colour and a rain colour, and it kind of emulates it raining outside, as you can see on your screen now. There's also a touch fade mode where the keys you hit light up and proceed to slowly fade out. There's a gaming mode where selected keys light up, including W, A, S and D of course. There's a starlight effect where random keys fade in and out of colour, a more subtle effect. There's a colour cycle in which, you guessed it, the keyboard cycles between the RGB spectrum colours. You can have a solid colour mode and a couple of other really cool things, such as the game Snake on your keyboard. Yep, that is a thing. The software also allows huge customization within these set modes, from 9 levels of brightness for the LEDs and of course the speed. All the colours can be basically changed on pretty much everything, so you can just go pretty mental. Cooler Master do retain the ability to change the LED effects directly on the keyboard, those I mentioned before, with the use of the Alt key and F1 through to F4. Much better than a keyboard only control approach. In terms of the font face on the keys, that's also more my taste, and whilst this sounds insignificant to many, it's clear, spreads the LED underlighting nicely, and is centralised on the key as opposed to on the left side for better sort of glance typing. Another great thing with this keyboard is the white base under the keys. That basically means the light reflects off the LEDs and kind of diffuses onto this white underside of the keyboard, which means effects such as the colour wave merge the light nicely to give a much more fluid and natural effect. It also means you see more of the light that the LEDs produce, as you're not just getting the light through the font face on the keys. Another thing that I absolutely love about this keyboard is the choice of genuine Cherry MX switches over cheaper knockoffs. More and more companies are moving from Cherry MX switches to either their own or off-brand companies, but the validation and quality to these switches is unparalleled. All of the keys feel the same when pressed, unlike other gaming brands where there's been many complaints about their keyboards, because the keys actually feel different despite being the same switch. And this keyboard comes in either Cherry MX's brown switches, which are great for typing, blues I've got on this model, which I've actually come to really like despite my prior pessimism, and the reds, similar to brown but very popular with a reduced actuation force. But what don't I like though? Because as always in all my reviews, there's always something. The unique layout certainly is somewhat of an acquired taste, and the number pad certainly feels a tad crowded. I also don't think it would have hurt Cooler Master too much to include a wrist rest, but with many people not using them, I understand the reluctance to add arguably unnecessary expense. One thing to note is this keyboard's actually quite high off the ground. It's quite thick on the sides, even with the legs down, but the legs are nice and grippy and certainly do the job. You also get an included braided micro USB cable, fantastic, and you also get a cable run underneath the keyboard to run the cable out of the left, out to the right, or straight. I get my cable running out left. It just makes cable management so easy, and it's a fantastic feature on this keyboard. To summarise though, this really is a fantastic product with a thorough suite of RGB controls and a great choice of genuine switches. The layout certainly isn't for everyone, but a full size and typical 10 keyless design is offered with the same switch variant, software control and the like. For people who want to retain the number pad but have less space on their desk, this is a fantastic product. It's certainly a product I can recommend, and one that looks sick AF. If I had a recommended award, this would take it, but I don't. So let's just move on from that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more like this. I've got some giveaways going on the channel as well at the moment for a Cooler Master mouse and a GT Omega Racing chair. So make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter at GeekaWhat, and as always, we'll see you in the next GeekaWhat video.